Happy place. He hated grocery shopping, hated the time it took, but he came up with a method. People bought the same things, more or less, so he would look for someone of his type, sneak up behind them, and roll their fully laden trolley off to the checkout. It made life interesting. Often, there were things he would never have bought. Once, there was a fat orange pumpkin. But today, he was in trouble. He had been stealing mostly from women because he liked the sense of order to their selections. But his victim had spied him and was stomping over. There were women's products in the cart, so it was going to be difficult. He decided to pretend he knew her. "Darling, I'll just get eggs." "We've got eggs," the woman chirped. "Listen, do you want to go out to the car? You look stressed. You can listen to your tape." Potato smiles. When Debbie left, I ate nothing but potato smiles with no frills ketchup. One day, I looked at the fluffy orange discs grinning up at me and decided to save one. I stuck it to the wall next to my bed, and it cheered me up. The next day, I saved another, but I'd had one of my funny days, so I stuck this one upside down to make a frown. I did this for years, and the pattern reminded me how well I was doing. The man from environmental health had a big oblong body built for blocking doorways. "The neighbours are talking about a smell," he said. I locked the door and made him sit while I removed the smiles and heaped them on a plate in front of him. The sauce bottle was rimmed with decaying ketchup scabs. I squeezed hard till his plate was full. Now this one's called Cica Lights. Mum and Trevor were getting serious, what with her new glittery top and the way she stroked the sleeve of his knobbly jumper like it was a hamster. But you can put up with that. When he bought me new trainers, my heart sank. The box declared in scrolly italics, Clark's, and when I lifted the lid, pink lights winked through tissue and my worst fears were confirmed. Cica Lights. A Nike copy with pathetic flashing bulbs in the heels. I was dead if I wore them. Like the boy who wore a Blue Peter t-shirt on non-uniform day and had since developed a stutter and started hanging with the science fiction lot. So I told Trevor about the nights my dad stayed over, and Trevor stormed out, taking the shoes with him. My mum was insupportable, but relationships come and go. Your choice of trainer leaves an indelible mark. I'm David Gaffney and I specialise in a type of short story that I like to call microfiction, and some people call flash fiction. My stories tend to be around 150 words long. They tend not to be 153 or 148. I just like them to be exactly 150. My first book that came out was called Sawn-Off Tales, which is that one, which has got 58 short stories in it, all a similar length. Then I have a Roma Bingo, and then I broke my rules and wrote a novel, which is much longer, which is called Never Never. The novel's based on my days working as a debt counsellor with people with multiple debt problems. And then my last book that came out is called The Half-Life of Songs, which is a mixture of 150 word long stories and some slightly longer and some quite long ones of about 1,000 words. In May 2013, my next book's coming out, which is called More Sawn-Off Tales, and that's going to be a follow-on from Sawn-Off Tales, which is going to be a set of maybe about 70 short stories, each again exactly 150 words long. I mean, how I work when I'm writing these really short stories is I tend to write longer pieces of maybe 500, even 1,000 words, and then I tend to chip away and edit them and distill what I think is the essence of the story down to what I see as a little nugget, and then I'll sort of work away at that to try and get the word count by editing, removing words, but also by rewriting it completely now and again. I also do, if you have a look at my website, some live literature projects, such as coming up something called Station Stories, which would be for Manchester Literature Festival, and I also do some live performances where I play a Casio organ, and my friend Claire reads some of my short stories and some of hers, and that's called Le Malheureux. And so look out for more Sawn-Off Tales, which is, say, coming out in May the 15th on Salt Publishing.